Welcome to Body by Design. I'm your host, Blue Driver, a women's strength training and metabolism coach. I went from years suffering hormone imbalances, looking soft and bloated, to symptom-free and building muscle for a toned athletic physique. Since then, I've made it my mission to empower women to take control of their own health, hormones and body composition. So grab a cup of coffee and let's build your body by design. Welcome to the Body by Design podcast. Sorry, spitting that out. This week, we are catching up with one of my clients, Amber, and she's had some great results. I think a big one for me that I've loved seeing with Amber has been her mindset change. So we're going to talk a lot about that today as well and all of her results. But welcome, Amber.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. So exciting. So I think for this, let's just start with, where were you? What were your kind of habits and what really made you go, right, I need some help?
I think that my habits were that I had no habits. So I was consistently inconsistent is what I would say I was.
Yeah.
Just definitely not eating enough throughout the week. And then, the weekends come and then, there's stuff to do. So I'm going out with my friends, I'm drinking, I'm up late, I'm eating kind of whatever. And so it just kind of threw me into this spiral that I didn't even really realize I was on. And then when I started slowly working out again and realized, well, the weight's not coming off me like how it used to. And then I'm like, I can't sleep that night. I'm sweating. I'm am I premenopausal? What's going on with me? I'm 35. I don't feel like I should feel like this yet. And so when I found you and you'd already helped me so much with all these tips and tricks online, I was I just need to dive in because I don't want to, in the next 5 years of my life, be even worse off and not know how to help myself or be so down in the ditch that I don't even want to help myself. So I was something has to change. And
so you also had a lot of digestive issues as well before you started. And I do remember talking to you long before you even signed up with me. And there were a lot of cleanses and gut type protocols that you had tried, and you didn't really have much success with any of those.
Yeah, no success. I mean, maybe for little glimpse, I'd be oh, okay, I see this. But then it's just it would fall off because it's not this long-term thing. There's always kind of a light at the end of the tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, you're just kind of the same. I just wasn't having really great success in doing these cleanses or anything. So I'm oh, I feel good for a couple of days or maybe a week. But then at the end of it, I just spent a bunch of money and I look the same and I feel the same.
So you finish the protocol, you kind of feel good while you're doing it, you finish it, and then you go back to where you were. It's not sustainable to stay like that, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of your issues were major constipation. I'm actually just going to stop and close my blind. The sun's decided to come through and I've got streaks on my face. Sorry, people. I'm back and I'm not going to edit it that you've just witnessed that, people. But anyway, that's all right. So a lot of your gut issues were constipation, bloating.
Just a lot of belching and gas issues. And I mean, that was the bulk of it. Just those were the things that people would be you burp a lot. Yeah, I do. I don't know why. I don't know how to tell you. Because even I had done years ago, the Whole30 with my mom. And I did lose probably 10 pounds doing that. But again, it just wasn't sustainable. I went from not ever having sugar cravings to having extreme sugar cravings. So then when I was done with it, I was I gained more weight than I had lost because I was my body was craving sugar so bad.
Yeah.
And and that didn't even fix my belching at all either. So I'm I don't know what's going on with me.
And who knew, just regulating your eating, getting some good, easy to digest carbs into you could help.
Yeah. Never knew.
So when Amber started with me, from my perspective, when I dived in, there was very much the under eating, the going all day, skipping meals, things like that. So there was, you'd be lucky during the week to be doing the 1,400 calories. And then, like you say, you go out on the weekend, you're probably still not eating great amounts, but the types of foods you're choosing, drinking, and this is where the excess calories come in and why the weight kind of never comes off. But it was breaking those habits and the thought patterns behind it's okay to eat the carbs, and getting you up and regularly eating was probably your biggest battle. So for us, we worked very hard in this 6 months so these results for Amber are like a 6, 7 month period. So to get her up and running, we really had to bring her calories up during the week and then obviously regulate the weekends. But getting you to bring your calories up and regulate your eating and making sure you were eating frequently was the biggest part. But we literally have gotten you up to where she was 1,200, 1,400 during the week. You're steadily 1,850 all through the week, and you still enjoy yourself on weekends. You still
Yeah.
socialize. It's not like you've crawled into a hole and just eating carrot sticks or anything like that. So, what was it like trying to flip your mindset around that style of eating?
It was really hard at first, just because like eating as much as I needed to felt so hard, and like being so consistent, or like finding the time in my day and being like, I can't just like run out of the house with no food. Like I have to have something with me. Like I need to have some lunch, or I need to think about, okay, it's time, it's 1 o'clock. Like you literally told me to set timers on my phone, which was the best tip for me, because I'll get so wrapped up in what I'm doing that I forget. I just
Mm.
forget, and I don't feel hungry because I'm busy. So I'm just not at all thinking about it. So having timers on my phone actually was like one of the best tips I think you gave me. And even still, I'll be like, I love when I'm like making lunch and then my timer goes off and I'm like, I'm already doing it.
Success. I love it. I love it.
So
And
yeah,
I mean,
getting the amount of food was difficult at first.
yeah, it was. It was a real challenge for you. And we didn't
Mhm.
start, we didn't, Amber just didn't come in and I went, right, you're going to be 1,850 calories. We've had to spend some
Right.
time reversing that up because you also had the digestive issues as well. So for you to try and eat a volume of food was challenging. Cascara has been an amazing tool for anyone who wants a discount code and a recommended product. Please just DM me on Instagram at strengthtraining.nutritionist and I'll send one to you. It's a great digestive aid for constipation, helping regulate things and get you moving so then you can get more of an appetite and be able to eat regularly, and eat regularly helps constipation. So you're not heavily reliant on that anymore either though, are you?
No, I haven't taken the Cascara in like almost 2 months. Like I think I took it a few times after I got home from Italy, and I had like that kind of stomach issue going on in May. But honestly, since then I haven't had needed it at all.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's awesome. So timers helped you really well with eating. What are some of the
Mhm.
other habits that you changed to help regulate your eating to bring your health up?
Some of my other habits I changed. Trying to be better about meal prepping has
Mm.
been huge, because having food ready for me is like a big deal. Because if I don't have food ready to eat, I'm like, cook something. I don't want to do that. Finding
So
like
just that
this.
decision fatigue as well, like
Yes.
what am I gonna have? What's gonna meet my
Yes.
macros? What's good? And that's when we just go, can't be bothered and we reach for whatever, or in your case, a lot
Yeah.
of time you tended to go without.
Yes.
That if there's something there and done already, you don't actually have to think about it. You just eat
Yeah.
planned.
Yeah. And my issue too is like I will let myself get starving. So then I'm like, oh my God, I have to cook something. This is going to take like 30 minutes. I don't want to do that. So having the food ready is game changing, or at least
You've
having
already put your
something
body
like,
through the stress when you get to the point where you're absolutely starving because you've left it way too long. Maybe you had breakfast, it's now 3 o'clock. You've left it way too
yeah,
long. So you might go, oh, but I don't eat a lot because I missed meals or whatever, but you're putting his body through a lot of stress before you get to the point where you eat. And then, of course, you overeat, which is a large volume of calories that go into your system at once. And your body has a hard time coping with that. So, obviously, insulin and blood glucose and everything goes up. So, though you might not be eating a lot, your body responds to it because it's going through stress and then overburden, which is a stress as well. It's a nutritional dysregulation that people don't realize they have, and the stress that it creates in our body. So when we've done this reversing with Amber, so everyone has got a bit of a picture, because her calories were quite low majority of the time, there was no place to take her to do a cut. So she's absolutely regulated her body and brought her calories up, but still lost weight, gained muscle, lost body fat. Her aim is to lose a little more body fat, but there wasn't anywhere to take her at that point. So reversing her up and getting her calories up has been one of the bigger things. And we have noticed that in the last couple of weeks, you've been super busy and your calories have been a little bit lower than normal because you've been super busy, moving house, driving 2 hours. We get all of that. And what have we seen? We've seen a nudge down in your weight because you're not.
Hmm.
Now, we didn't see that in the beginning. When you were trying to get your food up and you were under eating every now and then, we didn't see a movement in weight. But this is now telling you that your body is now primed and ready to go into a fat loss when we chronically undereat and we're dysregulated and when we're trying to restrict to try and get this body fat down. The body's not ready to lose the weight. So we've been able to bring you up, get your training up. You've done really well with your training, gotten stronger, made PBs, and now your body's in a position where we go when you finish your move, life settles down, a deficit is actually going to work for your body now, which will be really nice for you to see.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even just like the little bit of changes that have happened in the last couple of months, I'm like, oh my God, like these clothes that I didn't think were gonna fit. Like I was fully ready to get rid of some stuff. And then I like tried them on just to see, and I was like, oh my God, these like shorts that didn't fit me last summer fit me this summer, like and fit me really well, like with room, you know? So like that felt really good. So even though only recently the scale started make an actual noticeable change, my body has been changing like over the course of these months. And I feel way better. And I'm so much happier when I look in the mirror because I'm like, even though it's not like extreme change, I'm like, I know what's like happening like in my mind and in my body that I just feel better. Like even like sleeping through the night, not having like my body like not being able to like regulate its own temperature, like that none of those issues are bothering me anymore. So I'm just like I'm so much happier. And like even with like picking up my steps and like actually walking every day, I walked every day, I think almost for the last like 2.5 or 3 weeks. And I'm like, you even know, like that's been kind of hard for me to like get out
Yep.
and just go for get my steps in. But I've been like craving it now.
And it's that switch where you start going, I know I've got a busy week coming up, and if I don't prep my food, I'm not going to have food and I'm going to feel tired. I know that when I
Mhm.
walk, I feel better, I feel more energetic. So you might not feel like doing it in the beginning, but you start to get this switch when you do it often enough. You get this switch where you're going, but it actually feels good. So I want to do it. And then it turns into that, oh, I haven't moved. I want to go and walk. It does.
Mhm.
There's neuroconnections in your brain that start to create new pathways. I do want to say that I'm just going back to the clothes thing because that was so awesome when you were like, oh my God, I was about ready to throw out all these clothes and they all fit me now. Amber did have a moment where she was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. Nothing's moving because the scale wasn't moving a heap in the beginning. But it was like, but you're gaining muscle, but the body fat percentage is coming down. And if your body is in stress, not sleeping, doesn't have energy, you're not going to the toilet properly, you have to fix that first before the aesthetics come. And it wasn't until and even though that data was there, it wasn't until you put those clothes on and you went, oh my God. So I think it was like the week before, it was like, I don't know what's happening. Everything's just stagnant. And we all have these moments. It's really normal when you go through
Yeah.
these process because nothing ever happens as fast as we want it to, not when you do it the right way. So we have these moments of what am I doing? Is it working? And we get inside our own head. And I think it's like when you have a child, someone will see you that hasn't seen you for a while and they go, oh my God, your daughter's gotten so big. And you go, oh, really? Have they? Because you're with them all the time. Well, you're in your own body all the time and it's slowly making these changes. You just don't see it as prominently as what I can see in the data or I can see in photos. So you take in that moment where you put those clothes on, that really was a big change for you, I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like definitely like I hit like a new milestone where I was like, I have to keep doing this because it's clearly working.
Yes, absolutely. And like you said, it's not about that scale. It's not always about the scale because the
Yeah.
the body people want that's got muscle, that is healthy, that is sleeping well, doesn't have perimenopause. I mean, I know you're only 35, but you are actually showing signs of it. Our hormones do start shifting around that age. And if we
Mhm.
have a stressed body, perimenopause, everyone thinks it's, oh, perimenopause and it causes these symptoms. It's actually the other way around. If we have and I think you're a great example of that, not even being in that 40 plus range, being 35, and you started experiencing hot flushes, lack of sleep, brain fog. And you were like, what the hell? Because when your body is under stress and you get a slight shift in your hormones, shifting in your hormones from 35, 40 is actually fairly normal. If our body has been supported, we don't notice them most of the time, or the symptoms are quite mild. And I think people get to perimenopause and the hormones really start shifting and their body's been underneath so much stress that the symptoms are overly exaggerated because their body's not coping with it. And I think you were in a place where just early on your body really was feeling that because you had very dysregulated nutrition and thoughts around trying to lose the weight and that. So, and training. What differences did you find in your training? Because you were already someone who was training when you came into the program.
Yeah. Um, I think that I was trying to train the way that like I always trained in the past, but like as far as like how many reps or like the types of workouts I was doing, but I didn't have like the strength or honestly like the drive to try harder. Like I wasn't pushing myself. Like there
Mhm.
was no like in my head, I just didn't have much of a reason. I'm like, oh, I'm showing up, so that should be good enough. Which I'm
Mm.
like, well, I'm not 25 anymore, so showing up definitely just isn't good enough anymore.
It's so
Actually
easy
trying.
in your it feels so easy in your 20s. You look at you look at a weight or look at a treadmill and it drops off. And then you hit your 30s, 40s and it just totally changes for you.
Yeah. So that was so frustrating. And then, I'm going with like my fiance and he's like, come on, just do it. Just do these things. And I'm like, I'm not a man. Like, I can't just do the things you're doing. And like, it's not going to just happen for me. Nor do I want to. I just don't want to do what you're doing. Also, don't tell me what to do. I'm like, you can't be my trainer and my husband. Like,
No one
you
ever
gotta have, I
listens
need
to
somebody else.
that. Dean doesn't listen to me. What would I know? I'm only a health coach, but he still doesn't listen to me. No one ever listens to their partner. Outsource people, definitely
Yeah.
outsource.
Yeah.
Saves a lot of argument.
Yeah. I was like, we will like each other so much more if you just don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. So we
Um,
changed your style of training and we really got you
mhm.
pushing to that. And I think this is one of the really big things. Women want to change their body and they show up, they move some weights, they feel a bit exhausted from it and they go, why isn't it changing? There was a difference
Mhm.
between showing up and moving some weight to finding that failure point.
Yeah.
And that makes
I
that.
think I never even considered going to failure before. I just think I never, no one had ever taught me that before. So I just felt like, okay, I know that I'm tired and I probably can't do another one. So I'm just not going to do another one, opposed to trying to do another one and finding out for sure that I can't do it. Or maybe I can do it.
And I think a lot of
So that
women
was huge.
underestimate how strong and how capable they are. Were you actually quite surprised that when you pushed, how much more you could
Mhm.
do?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like there are certain times even like, Mark and I are working out together and I didn't even change the weights and like I'm, doing what he's like, you just did how much I did. I was like, yeah, I'm strong.
Isn't it such a good feeling? It's so empowering feeling like that.
Yeah.
But, that's really one of the keys in the sustainable fat loss and to build a body that has shape and that is going to support you hormonally. There's, all the research is showing how muscle mass will support you hormonally as well. But you're not going to get that unless you're eliciting a stimulus that says, give me more muscle. And the only way to do
Hmm.
that is to take you to a place where you can't lift that weight. And then your body goes, oh, you want to lift that weight? Okay, I'll give you some more muscle. So next time you can lift that weight. And then when we get to that point, we actually realize how much we can move. I'm trying to put the words, I can never put the words to the empowering feeling that you get from being able to achieve more each time you go into the gym and see yourself get stronger.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even like today, I like hit a couple PRs and some things, and I was like, last week when I did that, that felt so heavy. And so
Mhm.
like to be able to do it today and like either do more reps or like a heavier weight, it was this is just like it gets you kind of going. You're like, I can't
What
wait to
can I
come
do
back next week
today?
and try.
You start that competitiveness in you. I know
Yeah.
when I'm like really pushing on something and there'll be a particular movement that I just want a recent one, pendulum squat. I want to hit the big boy plate, I wanted the big plate on there and it was and you start ramping yourself up during the day. It's like, oh, I've got squats today. Oh, okay. Can I
Yeah.
get a 7 last week? I'm going to go for 8 or I'm going to put that extra 2.5 kilos on. How many can I get? So you really do
Yeah.
start thinking about it. And I think when you get that confidence in yourself, that sort of stuff really starts to flow into your entire life and the way you view things. And I know you've had a very big shift in your mindset. How do you think it's impacted you socially all over?
Socially, I feel like it's impacted me like in a more positive way because I mean, I feel like I just like approach social interactions more confidently because I know that I'm feeling better about myself. And then plus like things like when I hear people like say like negative things about themselves or like about like how hard it is to be healthy, I'm like, not though. Like it is at first, like it is such a huge shift, but like once you just make like the smallest shift can make this huge difference. And once you like realize that it really isn't that big of a deal, it is easier. It's so much easier. And like you feel so
Steps,
much
the
better. So
steps are
like,
easy. The steps are actually
yeah,
easy. Plan the food, eat the food, and lift really hard. That's the principles of it. They're
yeah,
not complex things to do. But in
yeah,
the beginning, when you don't know how to, it feels a little bit difficult to do. And we
yeah.
need to just challenge ourselves to do that a little bit. And like you said, once you just get that little shift, what a big change. And I think we let things get into our head when something feels hard, we make it bigger than it actually is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, even like, especially I noticed like with my like older friends that I have, like I tell them that I like drink orange juice every day and they're like, you're allowed to drink orange juice. There's so much sugar in orange juice. And I'm like, I mean, sure, but it's like sugar off a tree. Like, how much wine did you drink last weekend? Like, there's sugar in that too.
Yeah, exactly. Plus the alcohol that goes with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have
So
you
it's just
had
funny,
much of a
like people's
change
mindset.
in your approach around alcohol and how much you drink, and what was it like if you shifted that?
Yeah, I don't drink hardly at all anymore. And if I do, I save it for like an occasion. Like if I go hang out with my friends, like I'm perfectly fine being the sober one. I just drink like bubbly water. I'll bring like, the liquid death waters or something like kombucha,
Yeah.
like something that feels like I'm having a drink with them, but not
Yep.
actually drinking. And it doesn't
Take a
make any
nice
difference to me.
take a nice wine goblet with you. Get yourself like a nice fancy
Hmm.
golden goblet or something. This is one of my
Exactly.
favorites. So it feels good.
Yeah, exactly. And like, if anything, I notice that they don't drink as much because I'm not drinking. Like, we're not like trying to rage or anything.
That's interesting.
Um,
And
yeah,
you don't feel like they're holding back. It's just something that
exactly.
happens. Yeah.
Exactly. And then it's like, I notice that like, if there's like a point that comes in the night where I'm like, okay, well, you guys are getting pretty toasty. I'm gonna go home. It's 10:30. I've already been with you for like 3 hours. It's been long enough. Like I can go now. And I
And
feel
then
like
you
I had a
wake up the
quality
next
time with
morning.
them.
Yeah, you've had great time with them. But then you wake up the
Yeah.
next morning and you feel
Yeah.
great. And what's the
Hmm.
messages you're getting from them? Yeah.
They don't feel good, they're tired, they're,
Yeah.
whatever. And it's even like I've kind of seen a shift in some of them even where like they're not drinking as much and now they're working out and like just kind of like it's kind of feels good to set this a little bit of an example to try to help them, without being like too like pushy, like you
Yeah.
guys really shouldn't drink like
Yeah. Yeah.
so
You were just happy to show up and do
mhm.
your thing. You don't have
Yeah.
to impose yours on it. Just you showing up and doing that.
Yeah.
They've seen that someone else is doing it and reflected on themselves, and it's had a
Mhm.
positive impact on them. It's really nice that you've been able to go out and go, okay, well, I'm not. Did you find in the beginning they were a bit like, you're not drinking? Why aren't you drinking?
Not really, just because like I had already kind of would do that. It was just I would like go out and be like, I'm not gonna drink tonight just because I don't really feel like it or I'm driving or whatever the thing was. But the difference is after a certain amount of like hours of not drinking, I'd be like, maybe I will just drink a beer, you know? So like my threshold for like how much tolerance I have to like sustain the night without drinking changed. So I would say like that's the biggest thing. Like I couldn't be worn down where I'm like, beer looks pretty good. Like maybe I'll just have one.
And
I
now
got
you're
to a
just
point where I
like,
was like,
yeah.
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm just happy to be here and hang out with you guys. And like, when I'm ready to go home, I'll just go home.
This is one of the things that our culture seems to have centered a lot of celebrations, socializations around food and drinking. But at the end of the day, do you go back and go, do you remember Mary Jane's wedding and what Amber put in her mouth? No. What she ate, they may say, do you remember Amber when she drank too much? They may be the memories that they have. But no one, I think people find it really hard to think about their eating, make better choices, think about their drinking, make better choices to get to the goals that they want because, like, oh, I'm going out. It seems to be one of the biggest ones that unhinge women when they're trying to get to those goals. And it's around fear of what people will think of them. But at the end of the day, no one remembers what you ate on the night. They remember that they had a good laugh with you. They remember that you had a good night out at a concert together or, celebrated someone getting married, whatever the occasion is. That's what they remember, the good time that they had. Like you just said, I go out, I have good quality time with them, but then when their drinking gets a little bit much, that quality time starts to get a little bit. So you go, yep, okay, I'm done. They remember the good quality time. They don't remember that you weren't drinking. They don't remember that
Yeah.
you didn't eat a hamburger. That's not
Yeah.
what people are remembering. I think
Yeah.
what you're
And
getting in is
honestly, I was going to say, honestly, if I like track my food right, or if I do the like right thing throughout the day, I can go have a hamburger with them or, like enjoy these certain meals because I'm like, oh, I hit everything else today. I have calories left to go eat the thing that I want to eat. So I don't even
it's yeah,
have to
you
feel
don't
bad
miss
about
out
it anymore.
altogether.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, perfect. Well, it's been lovely talking to you and seeing, like, as I said, for me, the biggest thing was seeing this shift in your growth and your mindset change. And you've got this package of skills in this time to take forward with you that you can
Yeah.
apply to life and you know how to manipulate them to keep you going and keep results that you've got. Not only keep results, but you're going to continue to get results. Your journey's just started.
Yeah.
For anyone who's out there going, I'm lost, I don't know, does this work? I've tried so much. What would you say to them?
I would say that you're not lost forever. There's people out there that are like willing to help you and can help you. It's just a matter of finding what works for you. And just because one thing that works for somebody else didn't work for you doesn't mean there's not something out there that will. You just have to find it. So like don't stop searching and it gets easier. Everything worth having is going to be a little challenging at first, but it will get easier once you get your grasp on it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Thank you very much for joining me, Amber. And
Thank
until
you.
next
Yeah.
week, everyone, thank you.